Okay. Uh-oh. We lost Danielle.
Don't get too comfortable. She's probably going to come back on.
I'm sure.
Yeah, she probably pressed leave meeting once you said you were going to record it.
Well, sometimes I think she's on her phone, and sometimes, you know, Zoom takes a lot of bandwidth.
Right.
So sometimes the phone is a little harder to manage. So
Right.
I'm not sure, but I'll read our thoughts for the day before, and maybe she'll come on in the meantime. So yes, and there she is. Ding dong. There we go. All right, we are recording, and I will read our affirmations, thoughts for the day, thoughts to weave in through our session. By Henry Miller is, don't look for miracles. You are the miracle. And he has that italicized, you are the miracle. So that's really something to ponder, you know, why would he say that? What do you think? What's miraculous about you? Everything. You exist. It's very magical. The other one is, I just really love it. It's G.K. Chesterton, who says, the chief idea of my life, ... that is the idea of taking things with gratitude and not taking things for granted. When I first read that, I thought he meant taking things as in almost stealing, but taking things. So he's just saying to have the attitude of gratitude. So we'll let those sink in a little bit as we come into center and create our sacred space gratefully. And miraculously. Create some space in your spine as you lift. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. And you know, it's interesting how the scapula are shaped. It really is like they are wings. So maybe we're more of a miracle than we even realize. Maybe those are just wings that have not been acknowledged and popped out yet. Come to focus on your breath. Follow your natural rhythm. See how it's going. Knowing that air and the prana is a gift from the air beings. It's like the four directions are actually live beings. And so is the air. But everything needs air. So there's something to be grateful for. The gift. And the ability to breathe. Notice your thoughts, notice your emotional body. Emotions are what animate us. Some people are more conservative in expressing their emotions, but everybody has them. It's energy and motion. Unless we get blocked or balled up, then we get stuck. So deep breathing can help to open that. And then notice your muscles and joints, see how your body feels. We already know we're going to work on the neck a little bit to loosen it, soften the muscles and the tendons there. It's a lot of work to hold up all these brains. And just as we're starting, I would suggest that we generate the feeling, the emotion of gratitude. This raises our vibration. Connects us more with source energy, with our higher self. If there's an intention that you want to create for yourself or an affirmation, you're welcome to do that. And I'm going to suggest for our attunement to breath that we reverse it a little bit and use it as a release or a clearing, because tomorrow is the new moon, a time to start new things, and we'll just clear our body minds in preparation. The new moon is in Scorpio, which can be a little intense, but it's a time to connect more fully with our higher self, with source energy. And it's also about relationships. And then soon we have the eclipse cycle starting again, which impacts relationships. They can make or break relationships if they're already on their way. So Just bringing arms out to your sides, palms up, overhead. Deep breath. Come into Kali Mudra. So index fingers are touching, thumbs are touching, but the other fingers are intertwined. And then lower down. And then when you get to about your ribs, point your fingertips down as though to release down into the earth, and then separate your arms, and we'll repeat. Just imagine anything that's stopping you from believing you are the miracle. Just imagine that leaving through your fingertips as you point towards the earth. And last time around. And just pause for a moment with fingertips pointed on or above your mat, down to the floor. And then release your hands, open your eyes, and we'll start to move some. So just stretch your legs out, pat your knees on the floor, windshield wipers, and circle. And reverse. All right. And then sitting with your knees vertical and feet, they can be together or hip width. It doesn't matter. We're going to warm up to a little twist before we actually work on our neck. I want us to warm up our arms and shoulders and kind of work our way up because it's all connected. So just bring your right arm around your knees or shins and scoop your left arm out. Breathe a deep breath. And turn towards the wall across from you and draw your arm down. Palm close to your hip and lift up, look over your shoulder. And allow your shoulders to remain down. So you have to lift up in your spinal column. And then press into your edge. Now just a little play. Press on that left hand. Lift your right hand and just reach up, bring your hips up, and you're still looking to the side, arm overhead and lower down. We're going to repeat 2 more times. Just swing your arm up, press hips up, toes are forward, And one more time. Breathe it up. So you're still in a twist. You're just in a little variation. And then come back down, sitting, and bring that left arm around your legs. If you need to bend your elbow or loosen up, listen to your body, your sensations. And if you're ready, we'll scoop through with the right arm. Breathe. And breathe out as you turn and lower your arm. Look over your shoulder. Reach up through your crown. All right, spread your fingers out nice and wide on your right hand. Loosen the grip of your left arm and just reach it up, press down on your feet, lift your hips and reach your arm overhead. And then come back down and breathe up. And last time, reach. And lower down. Just sit in easy pose while we circle around in our shoulders. So breathe really well here as you bring your shoulders forward and up, back, and release as you exhale. Circle those angel wings, lubricate them. You need them. One more circle around. And we'll reverse. Take them back and up. Breathe. Full deep breath. Forward and down. Breathe out. Release. One more repetition. Back and breathe up. Forward and down. Good. Now, just to loosen up a little bit more in our arms, just swing your arms, bend your elbows. All right, and then wrists, nice circles with our wrists. Reverse. And fingers, bring the energy down. Use your hands. One of your miracles is you are the hands of God. God, however you view that intelligent being, doesn't have hands that we know of. So we're going to swing our legs around to the back. So we are the hands of God. We express the divine. All right, so spread your fingers out wide. On your knees, we're going to bring our hips forward and hang in traction. Lift your chin, stretch the front of your body. You can engage your hips a little bit to protect your low back, but lengthen, pulling away from your hips and your knees. And then turn and look to one side towards your feet. Stretch the opposite side. Feel that in your hip flexors and your side. Come back to center, breathe. And turn, look the other way, towards your feet. Stretch away from your hip and thigh. Such a nice stretch. Yummy, yummy, as Connie would say. Other side. Just repeating once more, but hold here for a moment and pull away, lengthen. And breathe as you come to center. Other side, breathe out. Hold the stretch. And then come back to center. A few wiggles side to side. And then legs together. Breathe and stretch up. And breathe out and lower your hips and pubic triangle onto the mat. Bend your elbows into cobra. Lengthen in your spine. Elongate. Lift your chin. Press the pubic triangle down into the mat. Pull your angel wings down. Open the shoulders, the throat. And pull back into puppy stretch. Stretch it out. So just one at a time. Press one shoulder down and then the other. Keep your elbows straight if you can. And loosen up, bringing your chest towards the floor. And then we'll lift up. Bend your elbows just to loosen them up after stretching. Okay, so in table pose, knees hip width apart, palms under your shoulders. Lengthen in neutral spine. And breathe in. Breathe out and slide your left foot back. Press on the ball of your foot and stretch your heel away. And press up onto the toes like you're pointing your toes, but they're curled under. Back and forth a couple times. And then lift that left leg and circle in your foot, your ankle, both directions. And then bring that leg around behind you. Look towards it. Now just check to make sure you're not going to kick anything over because we're going to swing our leg. So just bring it around and kick both directions. Loosen in the hip. Notice your shoulders and arms. And whatever speed you want, you can speed it up or slow it down. All right, now the next time you come out to the side, see if you can lift that leg till it's parallel to the floor. Just see. And bend your knee. Bring it back in. Excuse me. And take your right leg back. Ball of the foot pressed down. And press your heel away. And lift up onto the ball of the foot. Coming onto the toes. And press the heel away. Back and forth. and lift your legs, circle around in your ankle, both directions, 2 or 3 times. And then point your toes, bring the leg around. Look to see it's there. Breathe. And start your kick. And the next time you come out to the side, you can point your toes or flex your foot, either way, but see if you can lift that leg up parallel to the floor. And bend your knee, bring it down, and bring your hips down onto your heels in an extended child's pose. Arms are stretched out. Relax your forehead onto the mat. Relax your arms. Okay, gently lift your head. Slide your arms forward, lift your hips and forearms. I have sleeves on and that's always slippery, so I'm going to pull them up. So you're on your forearms, palms. Take both feet back into an elbow plank. Feet are about hip width apart. Engage your core muscles. Your hips, press through your heels, and press your crown to the wall in front of you. Lower down into Sphinx pose. Tops of the feet come down. Engage your hips. Press the pubic triangle down, lift your chin. Breathe. Toes turn under, plank. Elbow plank. Breathe, hold. And lower down into Sphinx pose. Lift your chin, press the pubic triangle down. All right, toes under, into elbow plank, and then lift as though into downward dog and walk your feet in towards your face. Go as high as you can go. Into dolphin. Pull your shoulders back. Breathe, breathe well. Bend your knees and lower down. Come to sitting on your heels. Lift up and shake out your arms, your wrists, whatever you need. And then bring your arms around behind you, interlace your fingers. Press your arms away. Lift your chin and press your head back. Breathe and squeeze on the exhale. Release it. Squeeze. Now come forward, bring your forehead onto the mat, lift your arms, and then lift up onto the top of your head. Arms overhead. And lower your arms, come back to sitting on your heels. Release your arms, shake them out, or circle around, whatever works most for you. Actually, let's add one stretch to this. Bring your left arm forward, flex your wrist, bring the palm of your right hand onto the fingers, and I'll turn sideways for this. Just pull the fingers back as you press through the heel of your hand. Breathe. And then turn it under. Again, the palm across your knuckles and stretch your wrist forward. And then circle around. Move your fingers. Other hand, press like you're holding the wall away. Wrap your palm in front of your fingers. Draw your fingers back. Elbow is straight. And then under, so your palm is on top of your knuckles. Pull the hand back. Stretch the wrist forward. And then release. Okay, so from here, we have our toes under. I'm just going to reach back. So curl your hips under. So you're kind of lifting them a little bit to stretch your thighs. You can relax your head back if you wish. And then lift your hips slightly in and out of the stretch. Breathe and stretch. Breathe and stretch. And then press on your palms and come back up. Let your toes out if you haven't already. Okay. Pause. And just feel the energy of gratitude for your body, for the work it does. Much of it without any input from us consciously. And realize that you are the miracle. Lean forward, separate your feet, and sit in between your feet. Let your hips come down, bring your arms around to the back. And just lower down onto your forearms. See if you can keep your thighs together, your knees. And if you're able to go a little further, you can separate your elbows further and further, wherever your body will go in this moment. And then bring your arms up overhead if you can. Hold on to each elbow. Press your knees down. Stretch the thighs. And release your arms. Start to come onto your elbows and forearms once again, up onto your palms. And lean forward over your thighs. And then come up onto hands and knees. And let's come into our actual downward facing dog. Press up. All right, now come forward onto your palms a little more and bring your feet in a little closer and step them apart. You can either turn on your mat, depending on what surface you're on. Just be careful that you're not going to slip. You don't want to do the Russian splits before your time. Just separate your feet, tilt your hips up, let your body come down. Knees are straight, not locked, but straight. Toes are in, heels out. Walk your hands over to your right leg. Bring your head towards your knee. You don't have to touch unless you want to. It's great for that nerve that's on the outside of your shin. Lift and walk your hands to the other leg. See how this one is? Tilt your hips up. And then come back to center. Walk your hands out. Slide, step, or hop your feet back in to downward facing dog. And then walk your feet into the center of your mat. Walk your hands in towards your feet. Come up onto your fingertips in monkey pose. Lift your chin, inhale. And breathe out, come down. Your hips are tilting up throughout. Breathe, come up. Breathe out, lower down. Hold the stretch. Appreciate all the things your body does for you. Yoga is a chance to give back to your body and your mind. All right. Separate your feet just hip width. Bring your left hand, can be fingertips, palm, whatever reaches the floor. We're just going to come into a twist. Take your right arm up. Keep the hips forward. Look up towards your arm. Lower and bring that hand into center. And breathe up with your left arm. Tilt your hips up. Breathe. And bring it down. Feet hip width apart. Soften your knees. And slowly lift, push the floor away. Breathe your arms overhead. palms together, overlap one thumb, reach up, breathe. Engage your hips and legs. Reach up out of your spine, your hips, and go into a standing back bend, elongating the spine. Press down on your feet and roll back up. Bring your palms over your heart. Come towards the front end of your mat. Get your clothes comfortable again whenever you need to adjust. Okay. So holding on, palms together. Just bring your left hand against the left side of your head. Taking a breath. Bring your elbow out to the side. Breathe out and press against your hand. Press your hand against your head. Press. And then take your arm out to the side. Breathe your right arm up. And breathe your head over to the side. Just your head, not your hips. Your arm is coming over. But just let it come to the side towards the floor. There will be a little curve in your body, but try to keep the curve in your neck. You can turn your head forward and back, side to side, and then lift back up. Bring your right hand against the side of your head. Other arm comes up. Press against the side of your head. And then release it and bring your head to the side. Arm next to your ear. Bringing your arm close to your ear contracts in those muscles again to loosen them. Think of the little owl I told you about in the beginning, standing next to its partner with the very top of his head. I mean, he was just really turned, but his body was completely straight. And then turn your head forward and back. Bring both arms up overhead, interlace fingers, turn the palms upward and reach. And again, reach. Press down in your feet, connect with the earth through the soles of your feet and reach. One more reach. Breathe. And release arms. Swan dive forward. Exhale. Soften your knees and just take your left leg back into warrior one legs. Onto your fingertips, the front leg is bent. Press up, take your time. Hands on your hips, kind of to the back. Lift your chest, your heart. Bring your shoulders back like you're bringing those angel wings together. Feel the heat, pull them down and together. Relax your hips down into warrior one. Bring your arms around back, interlace fingers, lift your arms up. You can take your head back if you feel stable enough. And bring your arms around to the front. Reach for the floor and just switch your feet. Warrior one legs, front knee bent. Press firmly down into the ground. Imagine roots coming out of your ankles, down into the earth like a tree. Lift. Bring arms around back in, interlace fingers. Draw your arms away from your hips. Relax deeper into your warrior one. Lift your arms. You can take your head back. Squeeze. And release your arms. Bring your head to center. Reach for the floor. Step the back foot in. Lower your hips down. Walk your way back. Right where we started from. Right arm around your shins. Bring your feet together. This time, bring them in a little closer. Reach up through your crown. Breathe your left arm up. And breathe out as you turn and lower. And see how this twist compares with the first one. Really turn your head well. Shoulders down. Stretch in your neck. Be like owl. Press your sitting bones down. Breathe as you reach that left arm up. Come around your legs. Again, right arm, breathe, lift. And open to the side. Palm down. Use your arms for leverage. Turn your head as far as you can. Little owl. Owl is lunar. Tomorrow's the new moon in Scorpio. All right. Press your sitting bones down. Breathe your right arm next to your ear. And come around into a seated child's pose for 2 nice breaths. Stretch your neck forward, chin to your chest. Stretch your back. And then lift your chin. Release your legs. Slide your heels out on the diagonal so they're at least a foot to 18 inches apart. Roll your hips under, turn your palms up, and relax down onto your back. Draw your hips under. Bring your angel wings under. Stretch long in the back of your neck. Bend your arms slightly to let your shoulders completely relax. Sorry. feel your breath moving the ribs, excuse me, sorry. Just continue to let go more and more. A new level of closeness with your higher self. That relationship, all relationships that you have are a reflection of your relationship with your higher self. All of them reflect back to you something about you. Scorpio time is a great time to investigate that, to explore it. For now, let it all go. Soft. You are the miracle. Hmm. Now, once again, generate the emotion of gratitude, not merely thinking about it, but generating that feeling of being grateful, and then intensify it more and more and more. And now, slowly drift back to this dimension. Come into awareness of your body. Notice the sensations and what's changed, if anything. Feel your breath moving your diaphragm and your lungs, all your blood. And wiggle some fingers, wiggle your toes. Take your head to one side, pause there, stretch, and breathe to center. Flow right through to the other side. And back to center. Slide your feet together and lift them up to your knees. Pull them in for a stretch. And then roll to one side and press up into sitting. I don't know of a mudra for owl, but I do know one for eagle, which is Scorpio. So just bring your hands in front of you. Bring the right hand across the wrist and hook your thumbs together into Garuda Mudra. So it's like you have wings in the front and you have wings in the back. Pause for a moment and feel your power. Appreciate you. To not appreciate you is not very complimentary to your higher self, the one who's coming through you. All right. Having sealed in the benefits of our practice and our intention, bring your palms together into Anjali Mudra. And may you rest with the dark of the moon coming. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And Namaste. So now you're yoga soup.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, good